there are always distractions. It may be tempting to imagine that the past was a quieter, calmer time, when it was easier to concentrate. And yet every age believes itself to be too noisy. It was always hard to hear from among the sounds of life the voices which mattered. But perhaps distractions are particularly insistent today. Pings, beeps and buzzes from phones in pockets saying, "Listen to me, scroll through me." Walkers, runners, skateboarders in a private world of music and podcasts. "Listen to me, cut out the sounds of the street." And a clamour of voices vying for attention, belief and allegiance in the skillful call of the persuader. Listen to me. This book, film, box set, product, policy will change your life. And so it is hard to hear another call, a different voice, one that comes from beyond ourselves and the usual jangle outside us and within. A voice that seems, the more we listen, to be perhaps from God. And while there have always been distractions, there have always been people who listened. Isaiah, the Old Testament prophet, heard a call from beyond him so strongly that he believed God formed him in his mother's womb to be his servant. And this call was to be a light to the nations, to share God's love, forgiveness and hope to the ends of the earth. St Andrews can feel like the ends of the earth sometimes, in this northeastern corner of Fife, bounded on two sides by the sea. Certainly the coast of Scotland was unknown to Isaiah, and very probably to Andrew, a fisherman in Galilee, who also heard the call of God despite the distractions of his day and his life. Andrew was clearly a listener. He had become a disciple of John the Baptist, that fiery and uncompromising prophet. One day, Andrew heard John the Baptist shout out, "Look, here is the Lamb of God." And Andrew followed the man John meant, Jesus of Nazareth. He heard and followed and heard through all the racket which ensued, the ministry, arrest, trial, and death of Jesus, the troubled early days of the community of faith in the risen Christ, years of courageous witness in times of persecution, and Andrew's own death as a martyr on an X-shaped cross, probably in Patras in Greece. It is part of the privilege of being a university chaplain to see how young people hear and follow the voice of God. Some explore a vocation to ministry. Many discern how to share their gifts during and beyond their time as a student. Just last Sunday, I took part in a moving ceremony on the beach in St Andrews. As the sea beat onto the east sands and the afternoon darkened, a bonfire was lit, a beacon, part of a light for Aleppo. It was just one of a series of such beacons along the coast, in which many people, unknown to us, were at the same time offering solidarity, witness, and hope for people besieged in Aleppo and others elsewhere who face conflict and starvation. Well wrapped against the cold, small groups of students of many faiths and philosophies of life heard the call on a cold, dark night to come. They stood in silent witness to hope as the fire burned brightly, a different voice from those in power. This town bears his name because some of Andrew's bones found their way here. One story says a monk at Patras called Regulus was called in a dream to take Andrew's relics to the ends of the earth. Regulus sailed with them until he was shipwrecked on this coastline. Like Isaiah, Regulus took God's offer of grace to the ends of the earth. And in this town of St Andrews, the university too has a calling. It may no longer be formulated in the language of faith, But it is still a vocation to expand what is known by humankind, to teach the fruits of centuries of research, and to help a new generation discern the truth amid a din of distracting voices. For over 600 years, the University of St Andrews has heard that call and followed. And now the ends of the earth come here, our students and staff coming from over 120 countries. There is one further call to listen out for. This is the first Sunday of Advent, and there are precisely 4 weeks of noisy distractions ahead of us, from Christmas hits in supermarket aisles to ho-ho-hos from Santa Claus, from compulsory good cheer at office parties to sleigh bells, pretty much everywhere. And most of these diversions are great fun, fostering friendship, generosity and laughter in a cold season of short days. But there is another voice which can be heard if we listen throughout Advent. And this voice does not distract us from the world, but asks us to listen to the world and discern God's presence here. It is a voice of promise that this world is accompanied, that love is at work, gently but unceasingly, that the harsh, discordant cacophony will be hushed. And it comes in the call of another baby known in the womb, Mary's womb, many years after Isaiah, a child who cries from Bethlehem to Aleppo, a distance of only 330 miles, but 2,000 years. And this cry still cuts through the babble and invites us to listen. There are always distractions, always voices which say, "Listen to me." And discerning between different sounds doesn't get any easier as we get older. In fact, it gets harder to hear. But it is worth being a listener, not only to radio, but to a deeper call in our lives. As Andrew heard and followed, as the town and University of St Andrews heard and followed, and as people still do hear and follow, trusting that the cry of a child matters unto the ends of the earth.